Yo, what's good, YouTube? It is your boy Charles here from the CG Sports Podcast, where talking sports is more than just a hobby. And welcome, everybody, to episode number 56. If you guys didn't see episode 55, it was a great one. We started off one of our newer style episodes. We went ahead, gave you guys a bunch of sports news. We went over our Week 10 picks, and I'll tell you right now, we're starting 0 for 1. This is going to be one of our shorter episodes, but let's go ahead and get into this. So, Thursday Night Football ended about an hour ago from when I'm recording this, and I had to take an hour to just try and process what went wrong for the Baltimore Ravens in this game. And I'm still trying to figure out what, miraculous change that the Miami Dolphins made that, of all teams, they're the team that has, according to some people, cracked the code on how to stop this Ravens offense. I don't see it. You could sit here and tell me that. I'm not going to believe it. Yes, the Dolphins did shut out the Ravens for 2 quarters, and they only gave them 3 points in the first quarter. This game was 6-3 through 3 quarters. The only touchdown they gave up was in the final minute and a half. So commend the Dolphins for what they did. They played great, but I just don't know what big change they made that no other team has been able to do. So for me, I am not going to be calling the Miami Dolphins a team that has cracked the code to the Baltimore Ravens. But nonetheless, we do need to commend the Miami Dolphins for the game that they just played. Now, Jacoby Brissett was the starter in this game. He played 11 for 23 on his completion percentage, 156 yards. So a good game for him, but I believe it was about halfway or 3/4 of the way through the third quarter, he got subbed out and Tua came in, which was very confusing because the whole idea coming into this game was that Tua is healthy enough to sit on the bench, but he's not healthy enough to start. The kind of idea was that he was going to be the last resort, but Brissett didn't get hurt. Tua just came in. I guess they were just giving the guy reps. I don't know why when it's a 6-3 ball game, you sub in your backup QB as if you're up by 25 or something. It didn't make sense to me why they did it, but I guess it worked out because Tua, 8 for 13, 158 yards. He had a phenomenal game for what he did play. And of course, he had the big throw to Albert Wilson. He made a huge catch. I believe it was a 63-yard reception. I don't know what happened on that play. Somebody was supposed to be covering. Nobody covered him. Anyways, for those of you guys who didn't see, final score, Dolphins 22, Ravens 10. It was a big game for Miami, as I would like to tell you they're making a wild card push, but I'd be lying to you. I don't really know what they're going for. Now, as an Eagles fan, knowing that we get the Dolphins draft pick next year, I would have liked to see them lose this game, but what I do like about this is that this continues to keep the AFC North interesting, because the Ravens have consistently had a 1-2 game lead over this division. Now, after this loss, the entire AFC North is within 1 game of each other. And this is going to be crazy because not only are they all within 1 game of each other to win the division, all 3 of them, the whole division can make the wild card if things really went perfectly. Now, do I think that's going to happen? No. But realistically, 3 of these teams out of the AFC North can mess around and get into the playoffs this year. They're looking like, I remember coming in, a lot of people thought the NFC West was going to be the best division, and they have still looked really good, but right now, I would still say the NFC West, but the AFC North is a close second. I was going to say something crazy, but I won't do it. AFC North is a close second, but for one, this helps out the AFC North playoff race a ton because it makes things a whole lot more exciting, and it just kind of continues the trend of seeing a team that we look at as a contender, and then they go out here and they lose to a questionable team, and then we start questioning their credibility. For example, Cincinnati Bengals. They were the top seed in the AFC. We just made a video about this. They lost to the Jets, and now we're all questioning them. The Bills, they were red hot, beating a bunch of great teams, and then they go out here and lose to the Jags last week, and now everyone's starting to question them. Now it's the Ravens. They lost to the Bengals, so we started questioning them a little bit. Then they picked it back up, and now here is another loss to a questionable team, and you want to go with another one, the Tennessee Titans. We're a team that we were looking at. Obviously, the Derrick Henry injury now kind of takes them out of the conversation, but earlier in the season, they were looking like they were going to win that AFC South. Now it's looking like it might be Wentz's division, but at the time, the Titans were the front runner with ease to come out of that division. They lose to the Jets, and all of a sudden questions get asked. Obviously, it's warranted, but it's amazing how many contending teams have lost just 1 game to, a subpar team, and we just start questioning everything. Now, does this mean that the Ravens are on a downhill? They're going to miss the playoffs, drop the rest of their games, whatever? Of course not. Of course not. I think the Ravens are perfectly fine. This is just a tough game. They got off to a slow start, and they just weren't able to pick it up, man. I think it's that simple. Now, going into team stats here, the Dolphins outpassed them, almost outran them. They got outran by 34 yards, and they had an average yards per play that was a lot higher. The Ravens, though, in this game actually came up with more first downs, and just they had more total plays offensively. So I'm not really sure. This is what I say, where I'm looking at this box score and I watch the actual game, and it's like I don't see what Miami did to win this one. Obviously, the turnovers was tough. Obviously, the Ravens fumbled. They threw an interception. So that was, unfortunate, But I don't think you could single-handedly take that as the reason that Miami won this game today. Baltimore had a higher time of possession. They pretty much kept up with them yardage-wise. They had more first downs, more total plays. The teams punted the ball evenly, so we can't really look at that. But, oh my goodness, the third down efficiency from the Ravens today. 2 of 14 on third down today. That is unacceptable. And we know they're not a phenomenal third down team, but they're above average. So for them to go 2 of 14 on third down is definitely tough. But nonetheless, nothing to worry about here with Baltimore. That was kind of the point of this whole video, is that great win for the Dolphins, great upset, but there's nothing to worry about here if you're a Ravens fan. I think you guys are still going to come out of, the AFC North, no problem. They will get into the playoffs. How far they'll go, we'll have to wait and see depending on what happens with the rest of the league once we get to that playoff time. But nothing to worry about here if you're a Baltimore Ravens fan. I think you guys are good. But nonetheless, that is going to finish up this one. If you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Give me some suggestions of some other videos you want to see. We will go ahead and drop another video on Sunday night after that primetime game, as well as Monday. And then we will be back next week with our weekly show with your news and predictions. So make sure you guys subscribe if you are interested in any of that. Nonetheless, it has been your boy CG, and I'm out. Peace.